Hello. Good evening. Okay, tonight, I don't know how long I'm going to stream for, but we're going to play some what I have deemed Callisto Protocol. uh, this released in December of 2022. I had originally thought it could have been a Game of the Year, uh, not contender, but uh, leading up to the release of this game, considering its pedigree, there are key members. I don't know how many or how much of the original Dead Space team from EA worked on this game, but it was sold as sort of a spiritual successor to Dead Space. If you're not familiar, I believe it is the new studio's um, first game, Striking Distance Studios. And it's extremely, I'm bummed out about it and I'm very disappointed with it. But we are late game, few chapters I think away from the end of the game, so there's going to be some mild spoilers. I don't know how long I'm going to stream this or how long I'm going to play it. At least an hour or at least a chapter, just so I can get my thoughts out of my head on why I think this game's kind of a bummer. Uh, hey, Eli, how are you? I'm, I guess I'm alive. I don't know. I'm not anything anymore. Um, let's just jump into it and I'll explain what I'm not feeling about this. Now, I was surprised at the start. So this game came out late last year. I didn't couldn't make time for it, or I didn't start it in December when it came out. But I figured I'd kick off the new year and just start my playthrough and see what was like so bad about it. It's been getting pretty slammed online and in like larger gaming outlet discussions. The reviews seem to be mixed across the board. Some people, I guess, really liked it or uh, appreciate it to a degree, while others think it's like obviously like a huge disappointment and kind of a mess. And it is a big mess. I've pretty conflicted thoughts on this game. The start of it, I was actually like fairly into it, and then the further I've gotten, I'm like 6 hours in, which I think it's about like a 9 or 10 hour game. It's falling apart for me, and it does certain things um, that drive me up the wall in terms of like the structure or the flow of the game. And I'll explain that uh, as I start playing it. But um, I love third person over the shoulder uh, shooters like this, or what I'd like to call any like we're living in a post Resident Evil 4 world, and Callisto Protocol, even coming off of Dead Space or comparing it to Dead Space immediately, because that's like it's literally Dead Space but not in name, and it's just like it does so many things wrong in terms of like the flow and the design of it, and just the encounter design, the structure of the areas you're going through. Like it's just it sucks. It's such a bummer. So I'm up to. I figured I would stream the
We
start
made it.
of
Some kind of service tunnel.
the start of a chapter. seems so quiet. How does this peak when I hit? Okay. I'm looking at my volume levels as I attack things. Alright, so just put the weapon away. Here's what I like about this game. The weight of your character and the like attack animations are awesome. Like, I think your character is like super generic. Like, he looked better when he had hair, and this is like a spoiler within the first like 30 minutes of the game, but they shave his head, so he just looks like a dude bro, like Call of Duty creator character sort of. And the story isn't interesting at all. It's very like kind of basic sci-fi horror. You're on, I don't even know if honestly I don't know if I'm even on the moon or on the planet, where either you're in a prison that's on the moon or the prison that's on the planet, and you're like a cargo pilot who's transporting goods either like between the moon and the planet Europa, I think. Honestly, like, I couldn't even tell you like the general like plot line for this game, and none of it's just like none of it's interesting. And there's some sort of like conspiracy or some bigger threat happening that they're like hinting towards, or that they're kind of like funneling the player towards, but it's very like, there's not a lot of dialogue in this game, which is like also surprising. I don't know what I was expecting. Like, there's audio files like you would find in, you know, again, like we're living in a post kind of BioShock world and a post Resident Evil 4 world, and there's files and audio logs, and they're like very short. There's not a whole lot of writing even in the files that you collect. So there's not like a whole lot of world building, or kind of like, they don't really even make an attempt to flesh out the characters in the world to a degree, which I'm okay with to a degree, or I can be okay with. It's just none of it's done well, like with either approach. But anyway, besides the way your character looks, how boring he is, I like the character models are awesome. Like, I like the weight and the feel of moving your character around. It's very like weighty and deliberate. The animation of taking out your stun rod's the best thing about this game. Just putting it in and out, it's awesome. The swings, especially when you're actually fighting an enemy. You can combo into like these baseball bat swings, and the enemies go launching, and you can launch enemies into like traps and stuff. And the general combat's like cool. Okay, let's just get on with it, and I'll explain more things as I progress. So here's one of the files. Text is so fucking small. Alright, expenses. Alex Wang. Medical technician. Sure. Okay, so here's the other thing too. I'm a completionist at heart, and I was trying to collect all the audio files in this game, and I missed a few in some earlier chapters, and apparently this is the only thing I spoiled about this game because I haven't finished it yet, obviously. A, there's no chapter select, and B, there's no new game plus. So you have to either save scum and reload if you miss an audio file in like a chapter that you're playing through or a section that you're playing through in the game, or start the entire game over again and try to recollect everything without missing like something. And that's just like deal breaker shit for me at this point in my life. How you release a, like again, a post Resident Evil 4 style like survival horror without new game plus options or a chapter select, especially when your game is very chapter driven. Like I don't understand how that happens or how that happened, other than every problem with this game I can think of probably has to do with, you know, crunch or not enough time or budget or whatever. Whether they plan to add new game plus or those kind of things, like some updates or patches, because there is a season pass and they do plan to add some stuff I guess to this game, so maybe it'll come eventually. A lot of like Sony's first party games like God of War and Horizon, like not all of those had new game plus at the start. Like Ragnarok doesn't either at the moment, but I think they're adding it in a few months. So it's just still weird that it's not there, especially when I think, I could be wrong, but the first Dead Space, even before there were updates or patches, had a new game plus option. So again, like this game, you have to compare it to Dead Space. Dead Space is like a decade-old series or game at this point, and it did like basic things that this game doesn't do. So I just don't understand how that happened or why that wasn't a decision from the start. So at this point, because I've already missed stuff and I'd have to replay the game again from the start, collect everything or to unlock all the trophies and all that shit, like I'm just trying to get through it. I just want to roll the credits and then just wait to see if they update it, is where I'm at.
I'm at the colony. Where are you? Light tower. Got it.
The game has some good shots though, like the lighting's really nice in this game. Like visually, I like the look of this game, even though it's sort of like generics. Again, everything's kind of generic about the setting. Like space, it's like Alien 3, but not even as grimy feeling as like Alien 3's prison setting in space. But like the sound design and the lighting and just the general like look of everything is pretty nice. But like the art direction is just a little bland. Like there's not a whole lot of, like this shot looks good, but, and there's moments like this, but it's not like a super impressive game like artistically. It's just sort of technically feels like a next gen game, I guess you could say. Like it looks good visually just by default. Of course, these logs are like everywhere in this chapter now. Oh my god, I have to crevice through one more wall. Or shimmy through a wall crevice. Like, I'm gonna lose my mind. Oh shit, did I go back? Never mind, I went backwards. Oh, my cup. The chapter before this was like where they introduced like stealthing around enemies. Stealth kills are so loud too. And the last chapter was so bad. They're doing it again. Why do they throw so? There were some like sections of the last chapter where they just dump. I swear, it felt like this. Enemies were just like spawning Destiny style out of like a, you know, a spawn point, like in an old school first-person shooter. Like that's what it felt like. And I'm like, why? The encounter design I thought was pretty decent up until like the second half of the game. So either they just realized they had to like make use of the economy better, like because there were a lot of, you know, you had a lot of resources to upgrade your guns, and but nothing to use your guns on. Like I don't know what happened, but oh my god. So tired of the stealth chapters. Alright, so here's the thing with the combat in this game. You can just hold. So, the confusion with the dodging in this game, from my understanding, was... What? Alright, this is literally like enemy spawn gates. Like, are you kidding me? The tutorial for dodging at the start of the game sort of implied in the writing that you had to time the left analog stick to the left or right to dodge or to counter, or basically, yeah, to dodge enemy attacks. So, and you couldn't do the same direction twice in a row, so you always had to mix it up. But what it actually ended up being is you can just hold left or right on the analog stick, the left analog stick, to dodge. But also the left analog stick is to move your character, so it's really awkward. Like, you're kind of just strafing to the left when an enemy attacks you, or to the right, and you'll automatically dodge. Like, there's no reason to time any of the attacks except for, I think, the guard, which you have to hold back on the left analog stick to guard enemy attacks, and I don't think that's automatic if you just hold back. I'm not entirely too sure. Hey, Silent Snake. I haven't tested it enough or cared enough to like guard when you can just infinitely dodge left or right from like any melee attack. So haven't quite like figured that out, but I thought that was like really interesting. Like that there was a whole kind of misunderstanding of how like some of the combat mechanics worked in this game, and it just like really rubbed people the wrong way. And I generally like, honestly, I liked the combat until I realized you could just hold left or right. Because I think timing, like if there was like an active element, like a perfect parry or a perfect dodge in this game, I think it would have been cooler, or at least more difficult. Because it's kind of, it's not. I started on the highest difficulty and it was a horrible, bad idea, like I usually do. So I just went back to the default and I'm playing through on medium security is what it's called. Like it's medium, maximum, and I forget what the easiest is called. And maximum security difficulty is pretty fucking hard. So maybe I'll wait for patches or updates before I even think about replaying this game, because I'm close to the end on my normal run through essentially. But I think I would have preferred it if the dodges were more active based instead of just holding the button. Like, I don't know. And if you do guard enemy attacks, you can follow up with like unique counters if you upgrade your baton. So, and I'll try to do it to an enemy if I come across one. So, based on the combat, I get why people don't like it, but I think there's some cool stuff in here.
Looks like this place was evacuated in a hurry. God damn, it needs an ID card. Danny, I can't access the elevator. This area's locked down. Security room. I'll look for that.
I love when stealth kills are so loud. Like, they're louder than if you were like, or as loud as they would be if you were like regularly attacking an enemy. Jesus, oh no! Little alien dudes. Or face huggers. Whoa! One aspect I do kind of dig about this game, and I'm wondering how much more how much more of a thing it is on the higher difficulty, or the highest difficulty, is if like it does truly feel like a survival horror in terms of like your resources. You have even though the game autosaves and it's relatively generous with the autosaves. I'll say the checkpointing and reloading. This guy gonna see me? Oh no. The reloading of saves and checkpoints is a mess. I hope they work on that as well. When you can make manual saves, even though the game auto saves at certain points. But the manual save, I think, just brings you back to your last auto save. Like, what's the point of making a manual save? But it does have a limited inventory, and you can upgrade your inventory over the course of the game. Well, not really upgrade it, but you get something that, essentially get this suit that I'm wearing. So you start like in a prison outfit with limited inventory, and when you get your like Dead Space suit, essentially, you have more like item slots. And resources are like very limited, like in a very old school sense. Like, you're not upgrading all of the weapons in this game by the end of the game, even if you're like super thorough and you make use of your inventory and sell off even additional healing items that you don't need. Like, I don't think you're ever gonna have enough to upgrade all the weapons, which is weird. Again, like, there's no new game plus yet, so like, in a game like this, the whole idea is to replay it, new game plus on the higher difficulties, upgrade your whole arsenal so you're like super powerful. Like, and none of that's here, which is like, why? It's such a weird, like, why is that missing from this game? Alright, another boring audio log. So I've been playing this game with upgrading just the baton. I think the baton, like your stun club or whatever the fuck it's called, is like the best weapon in the game. And then the first pistol that you get, the hand cannon, I think it's called, that and the like telekinesis force glove, which is like essentially the Dead Space thing that lets you to like pick up objects. I've been upgrading those three things. So all the other weapons I've gotten, there's like a shotgun and something else I found, I think. I'm not even touching any of that, because like the ammo I think also works maybe similar to Dead Space. Well, where depending on like if you're low on pistol ammo, enemies will drop like pistol ammo. So if you have, I'm assuming, oh no, my inventory's full, so now I gotta, inventory management sucks in this game. I want to drop healing item, because like, who cares? You can pick up things you drop though, so like if you find one of the game's shops, and you want to drop a bunch of shit you don't need and then sell off like extra stuff before you move on to the next area, that's probably the way to like optimize a playthrough. But like I could go for a shop right now. This? Set piece moment. This is the key card. That enemy's gonna come loose and attack me.
I should head back to the elevator. What?
I will say, I don't think there's a quick turn in this game, and people were complaining about that. I will say, this game, even though I think fighting multiple enemies at once can be frustrating, and the game doesn't seem like it's designed or built for more than 1 or 2 enemies at a time, even though you do kind of get locked into combat with one usually without them kind of like, you know, sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Like bullying up on you. Like, if I made these 2 guys aware of me right now, it would be like not a super big headache, but also not like the ideal way to fight enemies in this game. So you do have some options for groups of enemies at the same time. With your, especially with your telekinesis, you can just pick up and like toss enemies around. But if an enemy's behind you and they come up from behind you, they usually will grab you and kind of like reposition the character in front of the enemy as a way to like refocus the player on the monster that grabbed you. So like it's not like really cheap in the sense that like you're gonna get attacked from all angles. So I think they knew what they had or what they made, and maybe just balancing enemy encounters was just really like rough. So I'm like a lot of things with this game, I'm very conflicted on like their approach to combat and just kind of like the reality of what the game ended up being as it is right now. I feel like I'm missing like a bunch of shit in this area. What have I? Yeah, I haven't been down here. Where I came from? Yeah, I'm like lost. Almost scared me. Look how loud I'm being. It's always so silly. I know suspension of disbelief and all that shit, but... I don't understand what I just did. Never mind. I understand now.
Danny, I'm heading up to the tower now. Danny?
Circle? What is this circle? Hey, just work. I was actually just like giving the game my read earlier, kind of throughout most of the stream so far. I'm mostly mixed on it. I'm very torn, kind of leaning towards it's sort of a bummer and I'm disappointed with it. Alright, so here's a problem this game has. This is the perfect example of something that's like plagues the entire game. And it feeds into my whole problem with there being no chapter select or new game plus or anything like that. And maybe this is just a general design sort of flaw, but this game's mostly very linear. So although some of the areas do branch off to a degree, there's very few instances where you arrive or you're dropped into like a large space where you're running back and forth like between areas. So like the first Dead Space even was also pretty linear, but it had like, I wouldn't say Dead Space 1 or 2 have like Metroid like design, but there's Metroid-y elements in those games. So this game has like none of that. This feels more linear than even like Dead Space 1 and 2 were to a degree. But the problem this game has is that there are, like right now, is this the main path on the left, this door here, or is down this hall the main path? Now, one of these is probably optional. I can't tell just looking at it. If I open this door, it's like another fucking hallway with blinking lights. Oh, there's enemies right here too. Hold on. Yeah, I was looking forward to it, and I had it pre-ordered like in December or leading up to like the release of the game, so I just kept my pre-order. And I just started it in the new year, so I'm at the very end of it as well, I think, or at least I'm towards the end of it. Just work, but I'm frustrated with it because like I love these types of games. Anything like survival horror games in general, or anything that's like, you know, I was saying this at the start of the stream, but we're living in like a post. Everything is like Resident Evil 4, Gears of War, or like Dead Space 1 in terms of like over-the-shoulder third-person shooters. Like as far as like what those games kind of established of what the norm or what the expectations are, or like what the bar was set. I mean, Resident Evil 4 set the bar like really, really high. um, but there's so many basic things that like even the original Dead Space did, or Resident Evil 4 even, that like this game just doesn't do, and I'm surprised. Yeah, and I'm okay with like linear experiences, but yeah, and this is what I was talking about before I kind of sidetracked myself. So like one of these paths is optional, or maybe they are both part of the story. Maybe there's like a key down one of these, or um, and the other way has the door that's locked that needs the key or something. I don't know yet, but more often than not, this entire game is like choices like this, and one of these ways will just keep going until you get to a dead end with like a chest or a collectible, and the other way will take you and progress probably with like where you're supposed to go. But the problem is that like 90% of the time, the the correct way that you're supposed to go locks you out very quickly out of the potential optional path. So the game auto saves, and like I said, the manual saves like aren't very useful because they just kind of reload, and the latest autosave I think is how it works. So like every other corner you turn in this game could be like, so, like I could go down one of these halls and like the grating or the door behind me or the ceiling will collapse and I can never come back here. The game autosaves and you're screwed. So like exploring this game is just like not fun. Yeah, like the space station or the area that, what was it, Ishimura or whatever in the first Dead Space, like it still was a chapter-based game, but it felt like more interconnected, and it did like guide you forward, and it was very linear to a degree, or like ultimately became like a linear game, and it wasn't like, you know, the spaceship in Dead Space 1 wasn't like the RE mansion from Resident Evil 1, but it still had elements of that like Resident Evil style, like very realized and grounded interconnected space where you had, you know, access to certain like the medic area, but then you could leave the medic area and go into like um the I don't know, the infirmary or something. Like that's what I thought this was going to be, but it's like they really like more than anything like than, and I haven't played through Dead Space 3, and I know people don't like that game, but like this game's so like supremely like just move forward and like fuck everything behind you. And I like aspects of that, but I'm also like bummed out that it's not more like um, the other way. So I'm gonna assume this is the correct path. Let's go down here and see what happens. I'll make a pointless manual save. Where's my manual save 3? Let's see what's down here. Okay. It was an optional path. But I made the right call. A bunch of shit I didn't really need. Well, I guess I needed the hand cannon ammo. And there's some health down here. So that was like a better example because that was a short little trip just for some extra resources. But oh, I forgot to do Callisto. Sorry, hold on. Yeah, thanks for catching that, Just Work. usually know how like far you're into the chapter when you start seeing like your collectible list fill up. Oh, I already read this one.
Nice.
What? What just happened? Whoa, that was janky. I don't know what was going on there. Weird enemy spawns and just like something hit me out of nowhere. I don't even know where the autosave's gonna come out.
Nice.
That's what I was saying, enemies usually don't attack you from behind. Messy encounters, super messy. game's just not designed for multiple enemies at once. Oh my god, all the way back here? Oh.
Nice.
Really?
Make a selection. Wait for print to complete. Quality check verified. Error.
Your first exposure. You can't make me! You killed them all!
Wait. No. Hey, stop!
Wow.
What happened?
I'm sorry. I tried to protect you. You didn't deserve this.
Danny. Hey, Danny.
Get away from me!
Okay, hey.
I'm sorry. I'm okay.
Be sure. You don't seem okay.
I was in their mind. Reliving their memories. There was an outbreak 75 years ago. Just like what's happening in the prison. They killed everyone, trying to contain it. Everyone. These aren't accidents. There's a pattern. Arcus, Black Iron, Europa. They're all connected. Watch out!
Not this thing again. Oh my god, this is such a bad enemy. I just fought one of these. Really? Come on, dudes. Oh yeah, you can't melee this really. Oh shit, I don't have any like ammo left. Whoa, stuck in the door. I do like the death animations in this game. Your character gets like fucked up. Man, I don't have like any ammo for this guy. Oh, you know what? My other gun has ammo. Oop. So this enemy, you could just dodge it like forever. Locked in that corner. It's like Mortal Kombat deaths. can't believe we're fighting the same fucking monster from like the last chapter.
Danny, you okay?
This way. I know. They knew purpose.
Didn't know you could transfer memories like that.
These implants are wired into the brain. It's like a copy of file. UJC required the miners to get a version of what became the core.
So what's it like?
You were them. Those things. They used to be the miners. The ones who escaped the massacre.
Oh, close.
You okay?
Yeah. Damn walkway collapsed.
The way to the surface is on the other side of the colony. Just keep moving and I'll meet you there.
Choose an item.
Max out the stun baton. Just because it's a cool weapon. It's my favorite thing about this game.
Complete.
So I got the pistol, the stun rod, and if maybe I can get the arm maxed out by the end of the game. I don't know how much more there is though. So 2 more upgrades, or 3 more, and they're really expensive, so probably not. That's what I'm saying. So like, I feel like I've been playing fairly thoroughly on medium difficulty. I was able to max out the stun baton so far, the hand cannon default weapon, had an attachment that I added to it. I think I'm 3 upgrades away with the gravity restraint projector is what it's called, the grip or the arm, the telekinesis arm. And then I didn't touch the the skunk gun, shotgun, a riot shotgun. So there's 2 types of shotguns. Seems a little overkill. And then the tactical pistol, so another pistol, an assault rifle. Jesus Christ. There's so many weapons, and the upgrades are expensive. So like, what? I just don't get it. How there's no new game plus just blows my mind still. Please, 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 I hope Striking Distance Studio add that to your update or roadmap or whatever. Or if you make a Callisto Protocol 2, if you're lucky enough, learn from what people want. I'm back in the starting area. So messy. Oh my god. Ugh. I just want this chapter to be over already.
Make a selection. Thank you, worker. The UJC appreciates your productivity.
Gotta find a ladder.
That stuff feels good. Like the Dead Space shit where you like pick up an enemy with your glove and you toss him into like a spike wall. That stuff's all cool, but I feel like I don't know, like Evil Within 2 did trap setting and sort of, or even both Evil Within games. I feel like the arsenal and the trap setting you could do in those games was more interesting or satisfying than like these spike walls. Like, why are they even here? Like, they're just very copy and paste, like gamey feeling. I don't know. So torn on this game. So weird, another shop that quickly?
Freezing.
Can't believe people live down here.
Yeah, well, didn't have much of a choice. Some still don't.
Thank you. I know, I'm probably almost... Well, that looks cool. I already gave this game the business earlier in the stream, but I've been just
What's that dome?
throwing my thoughts down as I play through this chapter.
Not back then. It used to be the mine shaft. Up to the surface.
Why would they cover it?
Dunno. But we have to cut through there to get back to the prison.
As soon as this chapter's over, I'm gonna stop though, because I've already said what I wanted to say about this game, and I'm kind of like, I can only do a chapter a night at this point. Oh, what is that? That looks like something.
I am Dr. Caitlin Marler, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to Arcus Station. We're excited to share with you our findings, the culmination of decades of research.
Who's she talking to?
Not us.
I'm gonna download what I can from here. Meet you inside the dome.
Alright, sure, whatever. Decades of research.
It began with a distress call.
Ooh, Lord Dump.
Mysterious contagion spreading on Callisto. The symptomology was intriguing, yet
Oh, I was waiting for this. We've got like biohazard, test tube, growing shit. This is some like Resident Evil style tyrant sort of shit going on.
a form of accelerated evolution similar to what was discovered at Paramo. If we could
Paramo?
understand the disease, we could re-engineer it to unlock the secret of the Paramo effect.
Dead Space 2 is going to be called the Pirano effect.
After securing the site, a lab was constructed, and later a prison surrounding it. A research base with a readily available
Oh my god.
test subjects.
That's why Black Iron was built.
Ah!
Kind of an experiment.
Oh, this is dumb and cool. This is like really stupid though. Use like the endless amount of prisoners to do test subjects.
After decades of searching, the prize is finally within our grasp. The source, where it all began. A bold, new chapter for our project.
You're right.
Dear Solitaris,
This is super basic, like you were saying, Keylok. Like this isn't like. This better be a really bad boss fight. I don't know. I don't have any ammo. I've been playing like very I don't have any hand cannon ammo.
My God.
Whoa, that looks cool.
an alien life form, released by the miners when they broke through to Callisto's subsurface ocean. It was dead by the time we arrived, killed by security forces. But inside the carcass, we found thousands of larvae, primary disease vectors for the biophage pathogen. We collected specimens and transported them to our central lab on Europa. The pathogen acted as an evolutionary accelerant, mutating the colonists into little more than mindless brutes. Save for one, the so-called Subject Zero. Somehow able to reap the benefits of the contagion, greater strength, endurance, and longevity, while preserving their intellect and humanity. Though killed by security forces during the outbreak, the body was transported to the Black Iron Lab, forming the basis of the original research program.
God.
5, 2, 1. You mean we got some unfinished business?
Wait, this guy from the beginning? The like.
You can see, things have changed.
Oh no! I got like Bautista fighting me. I'm surprised he didn't want to roll in this game.
pay the price?
Wow, he's the first 4-hit combo enemy. Or monster or whatever. Let's see what this looks like. Oh my god! What? Do you like watching the death animations play out? One, two, three. There's three. You actually can skip some of them. Hey, Katsu. Three. He's just doing 3 hits now. Is she gonna pull like an Ada Wong and like drop the rocket launcher down? This is some pirate shit. That looked weird.
Daddy! Daddy! Come on!
Looks like
That looks cool.
Jay's just trying to help you, but soon she'll be one of us.
I'm upset I didn't pick up the pickups in that like arena.
You okay?
I'm fine. Just keep moving. That platform will take us up to the surface.
Oh, we made it. Danny? Danny! Hey, hey, hey. Oh, shit. Okay, come on. You're gonna be okay.
Yeah, that's
I promised I would stop them. Fuck. I won't turn into one of those things.
No. Okay, that's not gonna happen. Hey, we are gonna fix
it's gonna be a
this.
boss fight on this like
We're
elevator.
gonna stick to the plan. We're gonna get to the Warden's Tower. There's gotta be a way to reverse this.
You don't know that.
No, I don't. But we're not gonna give up now. We're gonna finish this thing together. Okay? Come on.
What?
Up. Good?
For now.
You're gonna need this.
Well, this game kind of does that, Katsu.
Okay, we're almost there.
I'm really curious about the Dead Space remake because I haven't played Dead Space since like I played the shit out of that game since the original release, like on PS3 and 360. But yeah, I think this game's. I was throughout this whole stream I've been trying to explain like what I don't like about this or why like this feels like super disappointing and kind of a
I don't recognize this area.
like it had potential to be something like kind of special. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too.
Since that enemy took off. It's been close to 6 months.
So whatever.
Unit online.
I was really trying to. So I was saying this earlier in the stream. I was really trying to upgrade or max out like at least one of the weapons, and then your stun baton and the force glove or whatever it's called. And even after playing this game thoroughly, again, you don't have enough. Like I feel like I'm really close to the end of this game. It seems like, or it feels like, and you don't have enough like resources or currency to like even upgrade like one of the weapons and the two basic sort of like combat options. Like there's so many other guns. Like there's two shotguns, which is weird. Like a riot gun or a riot shotgun and just like a skunk gun they call it. Maybe one's like a like an automatic shotgun. I don't know. I don't really know what the difference is. I haven't tried them. Tactical, like there's two pistols, two shotguns, and an auto rifle. Like that's a really weird arsenal of weapons. And like I didn't have to use any of these. And again, I'm playing on medium security, so once I learned how to dodge properly and just upgrading this fucking baton, like I said this earlier in the stream as well, the ammo, I swear it has like I think RE4 is programmed like this, and I think Dead Space 1's also programmed like this. Depending on the weapons or that you have or the weapons that you're using and that you're running low on ammo with, that's what drops from enemies. So like I haven't been using the shotguns or the assault rifle, so only like hand cannon ammo has been dropping. So you can get through this whole game, like at least on the default difficulty, with just like one weapon and like the default things like the baton and the force glove. They definitely want you to use this force glove. So this like I don't know what a hard playthrough, the highest difficulty playthrough would look like in terms of like, are these other weapons really useful? Because you don't like, there's not a whole lot of enemy variety, and you could just infinitely dodge enemies. Like, there's no risk or reward with dodging. Like, you literally just hold left and right. Which, again, I mentioned this earlier. I thought it was kind of implied in the tutorial that you have to time it, which would have made it more interesting. But it's very lenient. Like, you have so much like enemies swinging at you, just hold left or right and you alternate between the two and you can just chain it like infinitely. So it's such an odd game. And again, the guarding, I can't tell. I don't know if holding back on the back or the left analog stick, if the guarding is an active guard, like you have to time it and hit back just as the enemy's hitting you, because your baton has counter like upgrade paths. So you get the ability to like do a lower sweep attack if you guard and follow it up with a swing. So there's like there's cool stuff here. I just don't know like what's necessary or like why there's so many options, but like there's really no need to use like anything other than the baton. Like now the gun is useful to get rid of the tentacles that come out of enemies that morphs them, but again, when the enemies morph into their like evolved state, you can just go back to dodging left and right infinitely. Like it's such a, they're not even that much more like difficult to deal with, other than they do more damage to you. Like the evolved mutated enemies was like a hook this game had, or was like a selling point for it. And the monsters are just like, they do more damage and they're maybe faster, or they take longer to kill. Like how you outmaneuver them or counter them or dodge them, it's the same as a regular enemy. So I don't know. A lot of like decent ideas here, but just not thought out or very interesting.
Prison's running on autopilot. Systems are all shot to hell. Almost got it.
Full lighting. Whoa.
The whole prison's infected.
We should get the hell out of here.
Good idea. Warden's signal is still active in the command tower.
Can we make it to him?
Looks like it. I'm getting the door now.
cells.
I like these things actually. What? That was the end of the chapter? Shit. Alright. Well, I said I would stop here. New chapter.
What's happening? Wait. Stop. No.
It's like the start of the game again. Well, oh, I get it. Full circle. That's clever. I like that.
Daddy, can you hear me?
This is how the game starts.
Daddy? You gotta be fucking kidding me. Right back where I started. What the hell am I supposed to do now?
Game is good, Mike.
There's not much time. I was able to reroute one of the security units. I have Danny.
Where is she?
Good dual sense mic voices coming out of the controller.
You?
The doctor.
You put this thing in my neck, and now you want to help. How?
Alright, let's see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I wonder if this is the last chapter. It could be. I'm so bummed. So this is I thought I was collecting all of the Ada bios, which are essentially audio files in the game. And then I got to this lost chapter and I missed one. I missed one or two here, I think. Yeah, I never got combustors. And again, there's no chapter select, there's no new game plus, so I'd have to start the whole game over again until they update it or patch it with a new game plus. I'm hoping. Jesus Christ, I'm hoping. Not that I like really like this game or anything, but like I want to really like this. But I thought I was like being thorough and collecting everything that I could along the way, and then the game just like locks you out of areas so quickly just because of the like the structure and the design of the prison or the area that you're in. Alright, I'm gonna get to the next autosave technically and then save it, do a manual hard save. And then I'm gonna close the stream out for the night. This has to be the end or towards the end. Alright, well that was a save. Yeah, I don't know. Oh my god. A bogus chest, are you kidding me? There wasn't even anything. Alright, we're stopping there. Such a weird game. Let's look at the hour mark. So I am at 8 hour mark. How long to beat? Or from my understanding, this is like a 9 or 10 hour game just to finish it. So I'm pretty close to clearing it at least. How many trophies am I missing? Only 6 trophies. That's frustrating. It doesn't seem like a hard platinum, again, outside of I know from my understanding there's one for beating the game on the highest difficulty, which again, I started this game on maximum security and it wasn't a good idea, obviously. So I restarted like pretty much after the first hour, the first chapter or so, on the medium default difficulty, and it's been like a decent challenge up to a certain point. And now I just think the game's like, now that I see what it is and what it was trying to do, it's not. Once you know how to dodge, like there's nothing difficult about this game. I'm curious some of the encounters or if the resources or the things you can pick up or the pickups or like maybe occur less on the highest difficulty, but I didn't play enough of it to know like what was going on there. But I at least just want to finish this. I'll finish it. I'll wait for updates and patches to see if they like fix the problems I have with it. But again, like as someone who loves third-person shooter, over-the-shoulder, like Resident Evil 4 style, Dead Space 1, Gears of War, like these kind of like over-the-shoulder games, they're like next to character action games, like Bayonetta and Devil May Cry. Like these are some of my favorite types of games, especially when they're survival horrors and you have like limited resources and limited inventory. And there's some cool ideas here with the counters and the melee combat. It's got like the punch-out dodging. That's sweet. Or it looks cool and it feels good, but like how lenient it is and how you don't have to time the dodges, I think leaves a little what's the word I'm looking for? It kind of breaks any encounter. And multiple enemies just isn't like super. I can't keep. I'm so tired. I'm already so tired, Keela. I don't want to. I said I was gonna do like a single chapter, and then, like, I'm done. It would, yeah, it would be the worst. But then that comes around to being like, like, just fundamentally the game's not designed well because they throw a lot of multiple enemies during certain encounters at you, and you don't have like a whole lot of like options or tools to like fight multiple enemies. But at the same time, they also, even with the dodging being like infinite and you just hold the button, you have like the force field glove so you can pick up enemies and just toss them out of the way or toss them into like over a railing or into spikes on the wall. So like I get what they were doing, but and I like some of it, but just I don't know. Yeah, and there's kind of a parry. Like, you hold back. Let me see if I can find an enemy, because I want to test it again. Now you're going to make me play a little bit long. I really need to stop. I need to eat something. Got another shot.
UJC printing for all your needs.
I think the parry or the blocking is a timed thing. I'm gonna test it when I get to the next enemy. And if that's the case, then that's kind of cool, because there are follow-up attacks with the blocking in this game. This is not the enemy. Alright. So I'm holding back right now, and I'm getting hit. I got destroyed. Let me try to actually block that now. So the back doesn't auto, like, correct it. Well, let me see. Well, yeah, he is, but let me actively block now, though. See, I bet I can block that. Okay, you know what? You can't, I don't think. You're right. This is a fucking... I just fought one of these too. What is this game's problem? This is the... This is the third time you fight this two-headed, like, wannabe tyrant. I know it's reusing assets, but like, Jesus Christ, it's literally the only like boss character in the game. You can't even sneak up on those. These, all you do is fucking dodge this thing. It's so weird. Like, I could just stay in the same spot. It doesn't matter. None of this matters. And you can cancel into her, like, as you're reloading, you can cancel into a dodge. Which is cool. At least there's that. You can cancel into shit. You don't have to do anything, just hold it. It's so, like, embarrassing, I feel like. Terrible. I can't get over literally that is the third time within like an hour or 2 hours that you fought that two-headed like mini boss. It's the same mini boss. There's not even like a change on it. They don't do anything to like
UJC printing.
like build on top of that. It's ridiculous. Did I forward anything? Well, yeah, but Legend of Zelda, I love the rule of 3, don't get me wrong. And I hope that was the third and last time we fight that thing. But if it was like a Nintendo game, or a Zelda game even, each time there would be like a layered idea or a new mechanic. Like, maybe the encounter has like a gimmick to it, on top of fighting the same boss. Like, there's literally, other than the space that you're in, that doesn't really make it any different because you can stand in place and dodge anywhere. There's no difference between that enemy, like the 3 times you fight it. So, yes, I would agree with that, generally, if it's like, if it's well designed. Man, I can't imagine if they threw 2 of those things at you.
Choice. Every choice in your life has led you here. To this place.
Yeah, I figured you were joking.
This moment. But what choice will you make, Jacob? Will you remain as you are? Or will you choose to become something greater?
I like this animation though, like cutting this little electrical box. I like the way that looks. Enemy. The one thing you have to be careful about is enemies have... See, what the enemy did right there was good. Like, I couldn't see it, so he grabs me. He kind of repositions the player in front of him. Hold on, I'll show the weapon. Oop! I fucked that up. 1, 2, 3. You just have to wait until they're not attacking you. It's like basic as that sounds. Yeah, the enemy like warped right in front of me. Oh, I didn't get to test the blocking stuff. Hold on, let me get to another like an encounter where there's a regular enemy again. I just wanted to save so I can... Alright, so I'm gonna hold back. I'm just gonna hold back on the regular enemy. Oh, there's a guard break! And you can just hold it. So there's no timing on the guard. Alright, I'm just gonna let him kill me. 'Cause it took too much damage. I get it now, though. Alright, that was a good autosave. So... So the blocking, similarly to the dodges, you can just hold it, but your guarding has a guard break. So after, it seemed like 3 hits while holding the back button or holding the analog stick like backwards, your guard breaks. And the thing that's tricky about guarding attacks is that like you have to wait for enemies. I've noticed have either 1 to 3 strings of consecutive attacks. So whether you're dodging or guarding, you can strike an enemy when after they're done attacking you, like after a dodge. But if they're in the process of an animation of like attacking you, then you take damage as well. And it's kind of like a weird like trade of blows, is I think is what's happening. I don't know if I can illustrate it again or if it even matters, but the only benefit to blocking is you can follow it up with like what they call like a low attack, which kind of topples them and puts them on the ground. I don't even know if that's even like strategically like worth it, like compared to anything else you can do in this game. That looked like shit. Hold on, 1, 2, break. Okay. But if I try to guard and then attack, so if I dodge and they're not done attacking, now this just looks like shit. What happened there? Right there, yeah. So I tried to attack when they weren't done with their string of attacks. So you take damage, and I guess they take damage technically too, but that's all there is to it. So I don't know how much is left, but I don't know if I can keep going though. As much as I just want to finish this right now. Oh shit. Oop. Emergent gameplay. It's like Simon Says. I don't know why I can't stomp on this guy. This keeps auto-targeting this thing here, but I haven't... There we go. Jesus Christ. The combat's like Simon Says, essentially. Cool lighting. This looks cool. Like, the lighting and the visuals is, like, on point. God, I'm so tired of fighting things. It's so boring. Hold on. This is launching. The way they hop out of the beds is like hilarious looking. Next autosave, I'm done. I can't do this right now. I'm getting so like hungry and angry. That was cool. don't know. I don't know about this game. You know what? He's gonna like kill me. Let's see where it reloads me. That's how I feel right now. Yeah, I am tired of hating. I said my piece on it. Gotta be so close to being done this. Yeah, I don't know. In summary, so I said I only really wanted to stream like a chapter that I was up to, so I got to the start of a chapter the other night, and I streamed the entirety of that today, and then a little bit of the next chapter. So I did what I wanted to do in terms of like streaming this game. I wasn't never going to do a full playthrough of this, regardless, even though it's not a very long game apparently, and I'm at the end of it, I think. But just again, some leading up to this game's release, like we don't get horror games, survival horror games, or over-the-shoulder Resident Evil 4 style, Dead Space style games often. And even though like now all of a sudden we're kind of getting a resurgence with some remakes and some new games, like Alan Wake 2 is coming out as well, and you know, we had Control, like games that fall in that kind of like third-person shooter but sort of adventure game category. So, and considering this has Dead Space pedigree, like there was a lot of anticipation for like what this could have been. So, it has a lot of decent ideas, and it's disappointing that like they're nearly there, and I don't know if it's like salvageable. Other than I think at least for me, a chapter select or like a new game plus that lets you kind of continue to play the game. And upgrade your character, max your weapons out and everything. I think I would like that if you could like new game plus into the hard mode after this. But also at the same time, like fundamentally, like the game's not broken. It's just like there were some design choices that kind of leave the basics sort of like just bad, kind of bad. Like the whole dodging gimmick and the mutated monsters, like there's nothing interesting about fighting the mutated, like letting an enemy mutate isn't interesting because you just end up doing the same thing. You stand in place and you dodge infinitely, or you block and counter and kind of take the risk there. But and then oh my god, that mini boss, that three-headed or the two-headed mini boss over and over and over again. It's so boring. So I think with some tweaks to like the basics here, this could have been something. And maybe a sequel is warranted, or I wouldn't say no to a sequel. I don't know how well this game did, and it's clearly like a big budget. It looks like an expensive game that was, you know, that like this wasn't a cheap game probably to make. And it was rushed, and you know, they clearly and admittedly crunched to get this out in December. So I don't know. I'm torn on the whole thing because I really wanted to like this, and I like certain things around the edges, but maybe just a sequel or another attempt at making a game like this from the same studio is like what they need to do, and just kind of learn from their mistakes with this. I don't know. I am very, yeah, I figured I'm very close to the end. I just don't have it in me to push through right now. I'm tired. So I'll probably just finish it off stream, but at least, like I said, I wanted to at least get my thoughts recorded and archived and just kind of out of my head about this game. Just because, again, I love the genre. I love games like this. And I was, like, not, like, super excited for this, but, like, really, I was really looking forward to it. I'll just say that. I was just in the mood for a game like this. And it sort of has kicked off this next wave of, we have Dead Space Remake in a few weeks. We have the Resident Evil 4 Remake in a couple months. And then Alan Wake 2 is either this year, late this year, or early next year. Who knows what the release date will be for that. And probably some other, like, smaller games that fit this sort of bill that either haven't been announced or I'm just forgetting at the moment. But I don't know. I mean, I'll probably just stream shit, have a stream up while I'm doing some stuff in Destiny 2, but we'll see. I just don't feel like being alive anymore. I don't want to be live right now, and I just don't want to be streaming this. So, and I'm not gonna switch games or continue the stream. This was a dedicated Callisto Protocol sort of late game impressions, and I said my piece. And I wish Striking Distance Studio the best. I'll finish this offline, and then I'll either just uninstall it or move it to my external hard drive to make room for whatever the fuck else that I want to install and play. I meant I don't want to be live on Twitch anymore, not alive anymore. Oh my god. What the fuck is this game? It was a Freudian slip. Yeah, for sure. I don't remember what I said first. There's new DLC in Marsupilami that's like pretty cool. I almost was gonna do a combo stream of the Callisto Protocol and then chase it with some Marsupilami Huba Adventure DLC because it just came out of nowhere, and now my fucking platinum isn't 100% anymore, and it's really bothering me because they added this weird ass DLC that no one like told me about. I saw like someone on Twitter, I don't know where the fuck I saw it, but it was a free update and it's actually pretty decent. Because these are like opposite ends of the spectrum. You have like a weird Dead Space successor that's disappointing, and then that's like super dark and gory and mature, and then Marsupilami's like this like little kitty 2D platformer that like wants to be Donkey Kong Country, and it's just like kind of okay, and no one played it, and it came out last year, and I kind of liked it. Yeah, I'm gonna sign off. I'm just gonna get out of here. All right, thanks for hanging out. If you stopped in, if I have the energy tomorrow night, so this isn't going to be a thing that's going to be consistent throughout the year. I'll just say this now, but if there's a new release that comes out that I happen to pick up and I'm able to stream it, I'm going to be like naming the streams as sort of like a building the 2023 game of the year list. So if the games that I'm streaming or playing like released in this current year, like the new year, I'm going to kind of like categorize it as that. But tonight or tomorrow, what the fuck's it called? Joy Smashers, the people who made Blazing Chrome, Onikin, and Adulis, The Dark Call, I think is the subtitle. There's this game coming out, look it up if you like 2D, kind of like retro Shinobi, Ninja Gaiden style games. It's called Vengeful... What? It's such a bad name. Vengeful Guardian? Moon Raider comes out tomorrow. And I might stream it tomorrow night and just check it out for like an hour or so. But if not, then I'll probably be back over the weekend to do my Game of the Year shit, and then I'll disappear for a while. I don't know. But yeah, I have personally committed to at least streaming and releasing my Game of the Year list and my Game of the Year sort of discussion post on my blog if anyone wants to check that out, it's linked on the page. But other than that, have a good night. And if I see y'all again soon, have a good rest of your week, and I'll talk to y'all later. All right. Bye.